Here is what's going to happen. I have a magical notepad. Anything I write on this pad comes true. I tell you to stop drinking and you do. I tell you to go get an STD test for everything and you do. Anything I write down you do, no questions asked. She agrees and I tell her that I'll come home when I feel like it. I then go in and talk to my best friend about everything. I stay there until around 6 or 7 p.m. and head home. I get there as she is getting the girls ready for bed. We put them to sleep and start talking. I tell her to sign us up for marriage counseling and she has until Friday to do so. I call out of work Monday and we spend the day talking and I realize that I'm setting her up to fail, so I tell her she an adult and knows how I feel about drinking but she can make her own decisions. I tell her the marriage counseling is a must, the STD test is a must, you not ever speaking to the neighbor is a must, she can't even say hi, if he is outside and she is too, she must go inside. I don't even want her looking at him. I told her that he no longer exists and to treat him that way. I feel like we are starting to get back on track to getting past this. One day later she is out buying wine. She had 2 glasses the first night and the second she's right back into the swing of things. I bring it up to her and she once again brushed it off. So me being spiteful comes home Friday and starts dropping shots. I'm not a drinker and really don't enjoy getting drunk. Within 2 hours I'm shit-faced. She knows I'm doing it to be spiteful and calls me out. I tell her this is the new me and to get used to it. By the end of the night I'm wrapped around the toilet dry heaving. She gets me in bed and I apologize the next day for being spiteful. Nothing has changed for her and she had been in the garage chain smoking a pack of cigarettes in 4 hours and downing 4+ glasses of wine since. It's now Wednesday when writing this and we have our first marriage counseling session scheduled for Friday at 5:30, which is exactly when I get out of work. It's remote so I can do it over the phone and we'll probably sit in the parking lot while we do it and then driving an hour home. So that pretty much brings you up until today. For all of you that made it to this point, thank you. To all with helpful advice, thank you. For all the trolls, please find somewhere else to troll. I'm a real person with real feeling and real problems reaching out to other real people for advice with my situation. Comment 1. I will say, I don't understand why after you cheated 3 times you guys didn't go to couples counseling. You said yourself you're not entirely sure why you cheated, you just said it's probably because you're kinkier and have a higher S-time drive. I feel like this should be a lesson in not only treating people how you want to be treated, but also in putting in the work when you duck up. Maybe the reason she doesn't care too much to change is because after your transgressions you guys didn't attend counseling etc., but now that the tables have turned and you're the one being hurt, you want to. I hope this works out however is best, but it sure sounds like you both have destroyed this relationship pretty solidly. Comment 2. I never tried to justify what I had done in the past. I know it was wrong and I handled everything very poorly. To answer some of your questions, I don't know if it can be saved, but I'm going to try and save it. Tomorrow is the first marriage counseling session. To elaborate on the previous post, our first session was directly after I had finished work and had an hour drive to get home. My wife was at the house with both kids so her hands were full and she couldn't devote 100% to the session, so we ended early due to scheduling conflicts. We now found a counselor that has a schedule we can work with and the first session is tomorrow. So we will see how that goes. Regarding the broken home, our kids don't see that. Velp scratch that, they did see us fight when I confronted her and found out she cheated with the neighbor in our house. Since then all of our talks have been after they have gone to bed. My biggest issue at the moment is her drinking. She just can't stop herself. She doesn't drink all day, but as soon as the girls are in bed she is drinking. It used to be 6 or more glasses a night but has since dropped down to 2 to 4 glasses a night. When I spoke to her about my concern with the drinking she finally admitted she has a problem. She told me if she had something to do in the evening like going to the gym it would prevent her from drinking. Velp last night was the first night we went to the gym, and surprise, surprise she still poured herself a glass of wine when she got home. We spoke, fought about it. I feel like I'm on my last leg here because I feel like she says what I want to hear and then just does whatever she wants to. Since tomorrow is the first counseling session, I'm going to suck it up and push through today and hopefully tomorrow I'll have an opportunity to voice my concerns and maybe something will change. That's all I can hope for, but at the same time I need to have the strength to walk away if things don't start to change. Comment 3. It sounds like she tried to be transparent with you and you were too busy gaming so your neighbor got her attention and gave her the attention she might have wanted from you. Sounds like you need to decide if you can forgive and enjoy the best of your wife. Games will always be around and just get better, but we just get older and fatter and wrinkled. Comment 4. I did read through your entire post. I must say my heart hurts for you guys. She probably used your past as some justification to do what she did, which isn't justified or healthy. But the damage has been mutually done and runs deep. As someone who grew up in a household where there was infidelity between my parents, I can say pretty surely that your girls are picking up on what's going on. And the damage of not only this tension in the house, but of having parents who cheat on each other as examples of what love isn't healthy. You both will torture yourself endlessly, give counseling a try, like really a good solid try. But if groundbreaking progress isn't being made, just get a divorce. I know that isn't easy, I watched my parents go through it, but I can say even from my perspective that it was for the best. This needs to feel like a completely new relationship if it's going to heal and grow again, and I fear that will be almost impossible to do at this point. Best luck, and remember neither of you are bad people. See the purpose and the lesson, and then trust your body and heart on what needs to come next. Comment 5. You know, I just have a feeling here that both of you react to each other's behavior with another action instead of trying to actually listen to each other and work on your communication. It's a bit like a power game here, and one does the one thing and then the other responds to it by doing something else. And it is clear there have been a lot of struggles and problems in your marriage/relationship that haven't been sorted out properly, and instead played out in different ways to cope with it. For example, would you have ever cheated if your time life together was much more spiced up by communicating about it and moving to act at your best to try new things together? Would she have cheated if not for any of these issues? Another thing though is that the birth control was her responsibility at the time, and she should have told you she stopped using it. Comment 6. I can tell from your words that you genuinely are doing your best, and I have no doubt that those efforts make such a positive impact on the lives of your kids. A failed marriage isn't failing your children. I've never felt that way towards my parents. If anything, I wish they would have separated sooner so I didn't have to experience the leading up to the inevitable, fights, tears, tension without explanation. What I cherish most is remembering the happy moments with my parents, not them being together. They aren't exclusive. My dad cheated multiple times, he was a terrible partner and example for marriage, but I still say and will always stand by the fact that he was and is an awesome dad. Comment 7. Life isn't black and white. Details matter. Just because someone cheats doesn't mean you should throw away everything. Children are involved in years of history. To discount all that and make it black and white and say she effed up and to walk away is poor advice. Comment 8. The toxicity in this relationship is off the charts. You both are very immature toward each other, and realistically your kids will probably be much better off if you're divorced. Obviously her drinking is going to be a major issue and need to be monitored, but as a whole you both would be better off away from each other. You say things like, she has gained weight, and you find her unattractive almost as it isn't a central theme here. You've cheated 3 times in the past and now find her unattractive. What she did was clearly wrong, but I think you've been sending signals for a long time that she's not good enough for you. The neighbor was a confidence boost because she's unhappy. You both need individual therapy and new lives in separate homes. For your children's sake, one of which she basically suckered you into. Get your shit together. Comment 9. Hess a cop, and I'm not sure what I'd do when I see him face to face. I want to tell his girlfriend but have refrained from doing so. Comment 10. Holy cow. You've now both cheated, you both act vindictively towards each other when you're upset. This is a get divorced for the sake of the kids' relationship. You can try marriage counseling and more power to you if you do, but it sounds like the second that wasn't a forced option she didn't care to do it, just like quitting drinking. Realistically you both need to go your separate ways. Also, I would bet money on the fact they had time the first time and then she immediately let you duck her after, which, unless that's a kink you've both agreed on, which you haven't, that's disgusting. That right there should tell you how far she'd go to not get caught in the future. Wish you the best, but I don't think it's smart for either one of you to stay in this. Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.